and she could, shortly after she got out. And then she conceived 2 kids. And her and her husband would use the boy, which was the oldest one, when he was 5 and 6, to break into houses by pushing him through a window or breaking the window, and he would go in and unlock the door, and then they would get in and burglarize houses. So that's his childhood. Then she got rid of him, or something happened to him, and then she had another episode, and she went back to the mental hospital, and she met another guy. So when she came, this time she had a husband, and so the county giving back the kids to her. And then he tried to kill his stepfather with an axe. Up in, he was from up on Highway 7 in Portola.
Mm-hmm.
And he tried to kill his father with that. And I said, and they sent him to me. And every time I saw this kid, I just wanted to beat him up. I didn't like him. I wanted to punish him.
What was it? Was he just lippy, or?
I thought it was cruel that he would try to kill his stepfather with an axe.
He tried to kill us.
And the killing, for me, was hard. I couldn't connect with him. Because the stepfather, was handicapped, paraplegic, in a wheelchair.
Oh, right.
So it wasn't fair, right?
Right.
And I was there, and it took me, and I would sit there in groups with this kid. And finally one day, I think God talked to me, and I looked at that kid, and I said, you know, you must have really loved your mother to be willing to sacrifice yourself, to kill somebody to make her life better. And I said, you know, I know what that's like, to have that feeling. And every man, every boy would be willing to sacrifice himself to make his mother's life better.
I've heard several stories like that.
And that little guy crawled across the floor into my lap in front of everybody. And what was so important about that, for me, was I was the first person that saw the goodness of his intention and could value the deepness, the depth from which he was trying to help his family.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I went to group, he'd be there waiting for me to be right here.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's why that was so, like, altruistic. I mean, thousands of stories, hundreds of stories like that. And with the staff, too. I mean, staff would come and they worked for hardly nothing. They'd work days when they didn't have to work. And that's what allowed me to go away for 3 months or 2 months in the summer, because I had such a dedicated staff.
So Wally, tell us some stories about raising Derek and Cindy. What are some experiences you had, remember, from fun times?
Little League.
Little League?
Yeah, Little League. Skiing. We go skiing and I wear camouflage marine stuff, you know. I figure I'm going to be laying in the snow. I might as well wear my dunk hunting suit up there and float with all these guys that looked good and had images and, you know. And I remember that. That was great. Some of the Christmases, the one that we had at the cabin with the snow, when we drove in with the truck, loaded up like an immigrant, you know, with wood and then Christmas presents on top and then a tarp over it. You know, a wonderful time. I thought a lot of the trips we made across country were mostly positive. Maybe they weren't positive for the kids because every time we made a trip, or often when we made a trip to Toronto to see all of his parents, I always wanted to go see prisons.
That wasn't
On the
real
way.
popular, huh?
Yeah.
We just wanted to be sure we got back in the car.
Yeah,
Right.
you know,
1, 2.
We're good.
or I had to find some place for him to go because I wanted to go see this prison and this prison on the way. You know, because I wanted to have something when I went back to university that was new and creative, and I was going to go see a treatment program for adolescents. So that, but Christmases, New Year's, Christmases were always hard for me. They're still hard for me
Why?
because I never had good Christmases growing up. And but I think the trips were great. I think Smithsonian Institute was a wonderful experience. I know it wasn't good for everybody in our family. I know Eleanor didn't like it. You know? I remember she said to me, "Well, we've been here. You've already been to the Smithsonian 2 days. How many days you want to go?" And I know Derek and I were having a great time there. And I said, "You know, I want to stay a week or something. I mean, every day we could go to the Smithsonian because it's so big and it's so educational and everything." And Cindy, so I like that. I mean, one of my biggest regrets, I talked to Cindy about this before. Because I came home from work, I had a briefcase. I was worried about the group homes. I was worried about my teaching. I mean, I take care of a lot of stuff. And Cindy was about 6 or 7. And Eleanor was working and hadn't come home or something. And Cindy's out there shooting hoops. And she saw me coming. She was so excited to see me. And then she said, "Let's shoot some hoops, Dad." And I said, "No, I got too much work to do." And I still bothered me. I thought, how stupid when I like that. That was such an opportunity to be connected with my daughter. But I was so concerned about everybody else or everything. And that's maybe one of my deficiencies, I don't know, is I always wanted to bring everybody with me. I wanted my sister and my brother, I wanted to help bring them all along and bring them all up, and my group home kids. And I knew that my group home kids were only going to make it if they had their own resources. They had to learn how to cook. They had to learn how to get along with me. They had to have the effort to survive.
How many group home kids total were in all of your houses?
That's a good question.
It's a good question.
Total number of kids, all houses, all the years.
Yeah, I'm having a
I
hard
have
time.
no idea.
I don't know how long the average stay was. Like, 'cause we don't know when they got there or when they left, really. It doesn't sound like there was
Well,
really defined times.
There isn't. Now, see, some people, depending on who you talk to, I used to teach this stuff, so I know about it. There's some people define success if you graduate from the program, right? So if they kick you out of the program, or you run away from the program, or they pull you out of the program, the county that placed you, right? They're not included in their statistics of success. So it's easy to have a high success rate. But if you look at how many kids run away and how many you kicked out and how many you completed successfully the treatment, that's a different statistic. So I don't trust statistics when programs say this is how successful they are, because I know the workings of that system.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know because I didn't keep any statistics. The government wanted me to keep statistics, and they would send me the reports to fill out, and then I thought, "Shit, I got better things to do. I mean, I got these kids, I got a family, I got a job at the university."
Sure, but there were probably other professors who were trying to validate or improve or whatever the group home system, right? So they were
Yeah.
trying to get data.
Not only them, but the government wanted consensual data. They sent you a form for uniform crime reports, and they kept record of whether you sent them in or not. And they want to know how many kids you had and how many girls and how many boys and what age and
Sure.
how long they were there, and
Sure.
So do you think 200 kids?
Oh, I would say at least 300, 500.
Between 300 and 500, maybe?
So I know you already kind of mentioned this with my mom, but do you ever kind of wish that you would have spent more time with your family,
Yeah.
either than being at work or anything?
Yeah, often. I mean, I don't think that what I did was, I think that I didn't have the skill to balance my life. I mean, I still don't. I mean, you know, if I have work to do, I just want to get my work done. I'm like a dog, like a pointer, you know. The blinders, just get my work done. I don't care. Supper's ready. I gotta get my work done first. You know? And some people can just let it go and come back to it tomorrow. But I'm always want to have it. My reward comes from having something finished, not, you know, letting it hang out, like getting the trees cut. And I'm done. Okay, I'm happy. You know, we can go on to something else now. But that's me. Any other questions or comments? I'd like to hear what your thoughts were about. Besides Cindy show, what'd you think? You heard the story. You heard my life, more of my life than I usually talk about.
Oh, of what you've been saying?
Yeah.
I just think that, I don't know, it's just a very big adventure, and I just can't believe you handled it so well.
Yesterday, Jill said, Tata's had quite a life.
Like, I feel like if I was in the situations that you were in, I would not just handle them. I would probably, like, run away or something.
I said, yes, he has.
Well,
How about you, Noah?
Well, in some ways, this is like a recap of what we went over in Death Valley because I remember a lot of these stories, but I love hearing them again. Yeah, I think it's good to just keep rehearing them. I feel like I'm learning a lot of lessons just about kind of like what you're saying, like balance. Like life is all about balance. You're gonna have multiple aspects of your life. You have to know what to prioritize, what to spend time on.
how to
That's kind of the main thing. And I guess just some people live their lives differently than others. Like it sounds like